Thanks for coming back with us on Atlantic Journal. Berry picking is a pretty big pastime in the Atlantic region, and we are going to introduce you now to a fairly new berry that's growing in Nova Scotia and making a big impression internationally.
The berry is the Haskap berry. The brand of products, the brand we're using is Haskapa. Now, because it's a fruit company, unlike Apple, which is a technology company, we can't use the name of our fruit as our logo. So we have to adjust it slightly. Okay. The Haskap berry originates from Japan and Siberia. It's actually an edible blue honeysuckle. And the name Haskap comes from the northern Japanese Ainu language, Haskapu, which means little present on the end of the branch. So it's got a nice bit of poetic history there. Well, the Hay Forests was originally a forestry company, but while we are waiting for our forest to grow, we were looking for other opportunities. And we discovered that the University of Saskatchewan had been approached by a Japanese company looking for people to grow Haskap berries. So the University of Saskatchewan grew some cultivars just for the Canadian environment, and we spoke to them, and that's how we first got involved in the Haskap berry. If you look at a map of the world, Nova Scotia is the perfect environment for the Haskap berry. It's on exactly the same latitude as northern Japan. It has 60 inches of rain a year, so there's no need for irrigation. It has more daylight than pretty much anywhere else in Canada. And the soil here is just fantastic. There's no reason why you wouldn't grow it here. Growing them, Haskap berries are incredibly hardy. There are some native berries, Haskap plants, to Nova Scotia. You find them on the edges of marshes, but the Haskap plants that we have, they like a better drained soil. So if you can kill these plants, you've got a bit of a gift. They're very, very hardy. They're from Siberia. So Nova Scotia is like going to Cuba on holiday for them. So planting them in the ground, they like a slightly more alkaline soil than the blueberry. A lot of people think that because they look like a blueberry, they can grow like a blueberry. They need a slightly different soil makeup. They like a fungal soil, and within 3 years, you should have about 1 pound of berries a bush. Within 5 years, you'll have between 8 and 10 pounds of berries a bush. They're one of the earliest plants to harvest. They're up with the strawberries. So at the moment, our plants here, we're at the middle of, actually, where are we? We're at the beginning of June, and our plants have already flowered. The berries are already growing, and on a normal year, not a year like the year we've had this year, you'd harvest at the end of June. This year, we're looking at harvesting sort of mid-July. We've been using clamshells, which we get from a clam farm, and what the clamshells do, there are 3 real elements to the clamshells. One is that then they break down, the calcium goes back into the soil. The calcium is a loosening agent for the soil, increases the fertility of the soil. Minerals from the clamshells, as they break down from the seawater, they also go into the soil. They act as a great mulch, so they keep weeds down. And they also act as a reflector, putting light up into the plants, so they photosynthesize on both sides. And it also increases warmth around the plant, which increases ripening. So they look pretty too. The Haskap berry, it's actually known in Japan as the fruit of long life and good vision. So when we actually brought the berries here, we did our own tests on them. We found that they have 3 times more antioxidants than the highbush blueberry, that they have more vitamin C than an orange, that they have more calcium than an apple, and they taste great. A lot of these berries that you get now that are good for you, it's like medicine. You don't enjoy eating them. So now you've got a berry that's good for you and tastes great. The taste, some people get different sort of aromas, textures from them. For me, it's raspberry, blackberry with a little bit of blackcurrant in there. A lot of people see the Haskap berry in some way as a competitor to the blueberry. It's not, it's complementary. The Haskap berry you harvest in the end of June, blueberry end of August. So it actually makes a really good complement to the industry in Nova Scotia. For example, highbush blueberries, they can plant the Haskap berry, harvest that in June, and then harvest their blueberries in August. So really, we think there's huge potential for the Haskap berry. And not only because of the way that it fits into agriculture here, but also the potential products. We've tried Haskap beer, we've tried Haskap wine, we've got jams, juices, jellies. We have a potential export to China of 10,000 bottles of juice next year. People are really beginning to sit up and take interest. Now, we also sell the Haskap berry plants. Now, if you take into consideration that 2 years ago we sold 15,000 plants, and this year we're selling 200,000 plants, which is 200 acres, it's not only us who believe in this Haskap berry, it's farmers coming on board. Our juice, the berry actually has more juice in it than a grape. So it was the first product that we thought about going for. So we created this juice and we sent it off to the World Juice Awards, and it won the World's Best New Juice 2013 in Germany last year. So we think it's fantastic. You can reduce it for a coulis, you can dilute it. If you're not interested in the health characteristics of it, then mix it with a cocktail. It makes a fantastic vodka cocktail. After the juice, we also have the dried berries, which is actually the healthiest way to eat the berries. It's basically the skins, it's very much like the dried cranberries, but it has less sugar. And all the nutrients are in the skins. So the dried berries can be used on cereals, in your salads, however you mashed up into smoothies. In fact, some people use them. We then brought out jam, and these were the three products that we brought out. Our jam, our dried, and our juice was our initial product offering. Now, just last month, we've actually increased that with the help of Helen B's Preserves, who came up with a recipe for a jalapeno relish, which is spectacular with goat's cheese, and a chutney which we've had on glazed pork, which is also spectacular. And we do try and innovate, so we have other product lines coming in. We've been talking to Acadian Maple about a maple syrup infused with Haskap. So there's lots that we're doing to maintain the interest in the products. We only use local processors. We've been working with Terra Beata for the juice and the dried, Helen B's Preserves for the jams and the chutneys. We've been working with Acadian Maple, as I said, for maple syrup products. And we do try and use local producers as much as possible. We are looking into a Haskap wine. So we're looking into working with Elmwood Winery just outside of Bridgewater to create a Haskap wine. And of course, the people who help us to retail these products. Pete Luckett loves the products. We've had a lot of success with Pete, with Local Source, and a lot of other resellers within Nova Scotia. We have summer students and we have permanent staff. Again, all locals. We have local students from the Agricultural College. We tend to get between 4 and 8 students every year to help out afterwards. And it's nice to get agricultural students because they have a vested interest in the Haskap berry. It's still a fascinating berry for the agricultural community here. It's just new, exciting, and it has a lot of potential. And our other workers, of course, all local. In the winter, we actually have FSC certified forests. So we do certified silviculture. And then in the summer, obviously, we're busy here on the farm with the Haskaps. Haskap Open Day is on June 21st. It'll be running from 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And what we do is we want to try and show people what Haskap is. A lot of people have heard about the Haskap berry, but they don't really know a great deal about it. So we invite people to the farm. It's completely free. We give guided tours of the farm. We explain what the Haskap berry is. We have tastings of Haskap berry products. And also we have different stands of people who are involved in growing the Haskap. So we have, for example, Acadian Maple. They will have a stand here. We have John Deere. We use some John Deere equipment. We have Farm Credit Canada. They'll be here. And we have a number of different people who have a vested interest in the Haskap industry and its creation within Nova Scotia. Our farm is at 1776 Northfield Road. It's just outside of Blockhouse. So if you come off Junction 11, take a right, there'll be signs there which will lead you to our farm. It's about 15 minutes from Junction 11. You can find more information on the Haskap berry at lahavenaturalfarms.com and more information on the Haskap berry products at haskapa.com.
Being a true Newfoundlander and Labradorian, I love blueberries, but that Haskap berry is very, very good. Check out their Haskap Open Day this Saturday the 21st and you can try everything out.